I'm going to talk about hardware wallets in general, the why and what's going on. We make our own hardware wallet called the Bitbox. We have a booth you can come by, check us out, ask more questions. But to get started, so as was referred to in the previous talks, this is the problem. It's commonly called not your keys, not your coins. If you look at just last year alone, billions and billions and billions of dollars in funds are lost every year due to a lot of different reasons. So if you have your coins on an exchange, there's coin hacks. There's situations where the founders of the company run away with the keys and they disappear, or like in a case of a Canadian exchange where the founder, the only one with the keys, actually died on a trip in India, supposedly. And people lose access to their coins, and like FTX is a very common example. And so, yeah, besides the French agency that gives good marketing, these centralized exchanges also give good marketing for what the reason is for a hardware wallet. And so maybe you have coins on a computer or a phone. There's lots and lots of hacks, also billions and lost each year, and also just simply to UX and social engineering problems like that. And so, what are thieves looking for? You already saw the answer in the last slide. It's like these random numbers like this, these private keys. And now imagine, so these are the foundational element. These are what the most important thing is in Bitcoin, because these control access to your coins. They control where they can be sent. And so, yeah, again, whoever owns these keys owns your coins. And so now imagine these keys, your wallet is inside of this red balloon. And the problem is that to protect these keys from a security point of view, you have to protect all the surface of the red balloon, all the surface. Whereas an attacker, they only need to find one little place to stick a pin and pop, and your keys can come out. And so, like on your phone or your computer, these things are actually designed to inflate the balloon, to make it bigger. Through app stores where third-party software can be loaded, through web access, different ways to access your phone, data, SIM, whatever. And yeah, it's just not scalable. And these operating systems have tens of millions of lines of code. It's just not possible to audit. And so the common sense solution then is try to make this balloon as small as possible. Maybe don't use rubber, right? And that's what hardware wallets do. So they're very minimal, single-purpose computers. So when people look at them, they often think they're just flash drives, but they're actually miniature computers with a single purpose. Minimal code base, so it can be audited. Ideally open source, so anyone could audit the code if they want. No operating system, and keeping the secrets offline. And so the purpose of a hardware wallet, first and foremost, is to generate and store your keys in a secure manner. And so random number generators on the board. We use 5 different sources for entropy, for randomness. It's really important that this is really high quality so that someone can't guess what your random number generator produced. Physical protection, we think, is important also. If someone steals a device, it should be protected. And backup and recovery. In a disaster scenario, can you recover your funds? That should be done offline also, not through your computer. And so the second purpose is usable security. So it should be easy to set up and use, easy to receive and send coins. In our opinion, it should have a screen in order to verify user transactions, and also some push buttons or some kind of interaction to approve that. Because one of the assumptions with hardware wallets is that your computer or your phone is compromised. We just assume outright that it's compromised. And if you don't have a screen and buttons on top of your hardware wallet, then you're back to square one, trusting your mobile phone screen or your computer screen to the information, what you think you're doing. Okay, and so just to talk briefly about different types of threat models, we publish at this URL our threat model. What that means is all the different ways that someone could attack and all the different ways we try to protect it with quite a bit of detail. So I encourage you to check that out. Just to go into it in a little bit of detail, so different attack vectors. So first of all, what's out of scope? This includes things like if you lose your backup, for example, if someone else finds it, someone else steals it, then you still have your keys, you still have access to your coins, but so does the thief. They have your keys and access to the coins too, and it's just a matter of time before they drain your wallet. If someone steals your hardware wallet, steals your password also where they can log in, then your coins are gone, of course. And also something that we see growing and growing is social engineering. And so, for example, we have a Telegram chat that's quite active where we interact with our community. And it's just a cesspool of hackers and thieves and scammers trying to trick people into basically giving them their seed words in order to steal coins. And so there's some education needed here. And so when you make a backup, it should never touch the internet. And so, yeah, the basic concept of a hardware wallet, I didn't get that before, but it's basically, the concept is simple. So you generate your keys on board the device. They stay on board the device. They never have to leave the device. And if you want to send coins, for example, it's like a blank check or a blank contract. You say, I want to send this person or this address this many Bitcoin. You send this blank check, this blank contract into the hardware wallet. The hardware wallet has the keys, and it makes a signature. Just like a handwritten signature, it makes a digital signature. And then the only thing that comes back out is the digital signature, and that can't be manipulated, and that's what gets sent to the blockchain in order to move coins. Okay, and so what should a hardware wallet protect against? We have a couple of categories here. So one is software. So again, we just automatically assume that the computer, the mobile phone is compromised. And so it should protect against that scenario. Again, with the screen, you verify what you think you're doing is what you actually are doing. Any firmware bugs, any software bugs, this is how we handle this is with open source code. We also have a bug bounty program. And so we're very happy for the community to take a look at our code and find any vulnerabilities. Of course, we also go through audits and a lot of internal code review. Not every hardware wallet has also physical access, physical theft as part of their model, but we think that's important. And so the Bitbox protects against that. And so this is a number of interesting things. So first of all, just invasive attacks where someone can actually take your device. If you don't have a special chip that has physical protections, they can basically sand away the surface of it and use a high-powered laser to read basically every bit on the chip. And then if your secret's on there, they can find them. Side channel is a very interesting one. Not everyone's aware of this, but when you compute a signature, when you use a private key to make a signature, there's a very complex mathematical operation going on. And basically, the private keys are zeros and ones, like binary numbers. And so if it's a 0 or a 1 in the order, you'll get a different type of computation happening during the signature process. And this produces physical signals, such as electromagnetic radiation or even vibrations, sound. And using antennas or microphones even, you can record the signals and then recreate the private keys in this manner. And so it's important to use really well-vetted open source software libraries that already have protection for this in place. And how that's done is basically they'll manipulate the algebra, the math, such that each 0 or 1 operation is the same power trace, same time duration, and so on. Also, yeah, brute force access. If someone shouldn't be able to take the device and just brute force your password, for example. Evil made and supply chain are kind of related. So basically someone, when you're not looking or when you're shipping a device from the manufacturer, they replace the device en route. And so we have attestation keys for that. So there's actually a secret inside the device that can detect if there's an authentic device or not. And so there's a lot of these things. I encourage you, if you're interested in this, to check out our website. You can read more details about all of those. And then also, lastly, I think it's important to note manufacturer is also a potential attack vector. And so if you're using any hardware wallet, there is some amount of trust put in place for the hardware wallet manufacturer. That's basically inevitable. And so what we do is try to minimize the amount of trust you need in us. Be accountable, be transparent. How we do this, number one is with open source code. And so I think open source code is very important for security, for other people to verify what we're doing. But I think it's even more so important for accountability so that we don't hide anything. So what we say we're doing, you can see it in the public on GitHub, for example. And that also reduces internal threats. If if a company grows bigger, you can't necessarily vet every employee very carefully. But if all the code is open source, then you get automatic vetting, automatic detection that way. Related reproducible firmware build, what that means is anyone can take our code, compile it, and they get the exact same binary output. And so when we have a firmware update, people can verify that what we say is in this firmware build really is what is in it by looking at the open source code. Yeah, and then also privacy things, so you can connect to your own node. User source entropy. Anti-klepto is a very interesting thing where there's actually, I won't go into details, but you can look it up where there's actually a way to exfiltrate secrets through signatures just by structuring the signature in a certain way that it has little bits that are hidden from everyone, except for the attacker who knows the pattern that they're looking for. And then your signatures are all in the blockchain, and so without you even knowing, they can basically extract deep secrets from your hardware wallet. And so there's protections in place for that, which we also implement, and so does the Jade hardware wallet. And so again, check out our blog, check out our website, and there'll be more information on all of these. And then last, I was told I could shill a little bit, so I'm going to do that. If you're new to Bitcoin, the Bitbox is really targeted for you. We do have all the expert settings, but we're really interested in equipping the new generation of people, really empowering people to take place in this space by making it as easy as possible. And so this knowledge gap that was talked about before, our approach to that is try to eliminate the knowledge gap through UX, such that when you use the Bitbox, it just works. And so we get some pretty good reviews on that. And so Bitbox, all you need to get started. And so if you don't have any Bitcoin, you can buy a Bitbox. We also have in the app itself some options to buy Bitcoin. And so you can get started from step one with high security. And then step two, you can get yourself some coins. So sorry for the shill. Visit us at booth 35 to learn more, or check out our website. And I see there's about a minute left, so maybe there might be time for one question. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Just one question is it common in hardware wallets that they all support only Bitcoin, not Ethereum or something else?
Well, this is a Bitcoin conference, so you're going to get people talking about Bitcoin. We have two versions of our hardware wallet. One is a Bitcoin-only version, so it's only Bitcoin, but we also have a multi-version, which supports Ethereum and some other coins.